Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV, church reviews. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina and Clovis, special guests. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by Truth and Triumph Ministries.
Well, hello, everybody. Listen, I'm getting some notifications on here that Facebook seems to not be working properly. Facebook is saying on StreamYard that it is not working properly. We will have to have you all come on over here to our YouTube page and Instagram while we check on this. But welcome back to our Money Monday series. Thank you so much for being here. Pastor Grant is back in the building. Pastor Grant, how are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Happy Monday, everyone. God bless you. We're so excited. This is a new week. And so we're going in with expectation that things are going to work out well. Things are going to fall into place. We're going to meet that right connection, success. Our opportunity is going to meet all of our preparation. And so we're going to have success, great success this week.
Great success this week. And thank y'all so very much for being here on the Juice Radio and Talk Show. Listen, this is our Money Monday series, and it's time to go ahead and get some knowledge on finance and wealth. Well, let's go ahead and get started. And again, we apologize for those of you who may watch this on the repeat that are trying to see this on our Facebook page. The system that we use, StreamYard, is having some difficulties on Facebook. So y'all coming over here. That's why it's always good to run these things on several different platforms so that the word still gets out. Now we are running live also on YouTube as well as Instagram, Twitter, and our direct link at our website, thejuiceradio.net, because we want to make sure that you guys get this valuable information. All right, so Pastor Grant, today we are talking about tips on creating a business website, as well as we're probably going to do some follow-up of what we did last week. Let's go, Pastor Grant. Let's get the people started. And hello to all of you who are here. Hey to Erin. She's already in the chats here. Thank you so very much, Erin, for being here. Erin, just keep checking that Facebook. If it comes up, fine. If it doesn't, that's okay. But thank you so much for being here. And she's reminding you all to hit that thumbs up. Thank you all for being over here on Instagram as well. Pastor Grant, let's get started today. What valuable information we got?
So last week, we were really talking about funding, right? How do you fund your business loan? We were talking about evaluating where you are and what you need, because it's so important. We talked about making sure you understand the various aspects of funding that may need to be covered so that you have a comprehensive listing. The last thing you want to do is to go and gain funding or seek funding and find out you didn't ask for enough, right? So you want to make sure that you always evaluate. And using your business plan, which we've discussed before, using that is the mechanism to identify all of the expenses that you will need additional partnership and support in order to fund or to push forward your vision. So we talked about the various types of funding, traditional loans. We talked about online lenders, personal loans, micro lending, self-funding. We definitely talked about self-funding, because with that, you're showing your investors that I'm all in. And then it also eliminates you having to pay back as much, right? We talked about having some investors or crowdfunding. We talked about family and friends. So there are a lot of ways, and also grants. So grants, again, are ways that you don't have to pay it back. So these are all a lot of different ways to which you can procure and secure funding to help source your. And so there are ways and opportunities for you to obtain the funding. Don't try one way without evaluating. So I've seen some people, sometimes they get a no. They told me no. That's just one no. I want you to consider all. That's just one. All you need is one yes.
There you go.
You might get 10 no's or 50 no's. People go and they attempt to open or do new things all the time, and they may have a no. That wasn't the connection for you. But guess what? You only need one right yes. So keep pursuing. Yes. Keep pursuing. Keep going after, stay focused, stay diligent, stay persistent, and you'll see the vision come to pass. So we talked about getting those kinds of grants, right, through either government grants, small business grants. There are a lot of industry grants, depending on what you're doing. There are some diversity grants that do things for women in business or minority in business. So there are a lot of ways to gain funding. There is funding available, but you want to make sure that you have your business plan in place so that when you go to ask, right, you know what you need and you have a solid plan of how you can engage in getting it.
Absolutely.
Own your narrative. It's so important that you tell your story. They see it in the paper, they see it in your business plan, but when you come to speak, you add the life to it. You add the breadth of the story. And so preparation for that, want you make sure that you evaluate your credit report. Again, make sure you're ready to go. Don't go and haven't done your due diligence.
Don't do that.
There's some things on our part that we need to do to make sure we're ready to then launch. We don't want to launch too early. We don't want to move out too early and we're not in the place where we can start off well. I think I mentioned before, my godfather used to say sometimes it's better to have no sign than a bad sign. Because first impression are the last impression. So you want to make sure that you're ready to go. And then when you're ready, you launch out. And that doesn't mean you haven't prepped and you might get a no. You might get a no. That's not the connection. All you need is one right connection. Doesn't mean that you haven't prepared and you're nervous. There are some things that are still going to cause you to get nervous, no matter how much you prepare, but you still got to go and do it, not in the spirit of fear, but even do it afraid. You've got to operate in faith. Faith causes us to move when our flesh tells us it's impossible for us, because the word tells us where it is impossible for man, it's possible with God.
That's right.
We move out not based on our own capability, but what we know God has said. And so we want to encourage you today, just from last week, just a brief recap to encourage you that funding is available. And so you need to evaluate, select what sources or resources may be the best. Listen, let me just take this one example. I remember Tyler Perry's history, his story. He said he funded his first plays with credit cards. Now, we don't recommend that is the preferred way to go, but he betted on himself. He believed so much in his dream that he said, I'm going to risk it all. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it out there. And then he got not only movement, meaning doing something, he got momentum. He got momentum of progress. He had iterative progress. He had iterative moving forward. And so as he moved, he was able to pay all that stuff out and then have people come in and support the vision. So sometimes that's what we talked about. You might have to self-fund. I've done that. I've done that. Self-fund to get it off the ground. And then you go to your lenders. You say, listen, this is what I've already done. This is my track record. This lets you know I'm all in. And so now I need your support to take me to the next level. And so we want to encourage you today. Don't despise small beginnings. Wherever God is started, get started. Half the battle is getting started. Half the battle is not sitting on the seat of vision. Oh my God.
Not having a vision. Yes.
Not just having a vision or a dream, but then engaging on it. The scripture talks about faith without works is dead. You got to do something. Now.
You got to do something.
You got to do something. And
That's
so you
right.
got to take it, write it down, apply it, and then make sure that you are checking. I believe in that checking, monitoring. What does Dr. Walker says? What you cannot expect, what you don't inspect. You have got to watch it. You have got to monitor it. You have got to push it along. You've got to make sure the steps are in place. And a lot of times that starts with us. And so you got to do self-care. You got to make sure your mind is in the right place. You got to give yourself the time and the grace, right? Because you might make some mistakes along the way, but that leads to progress. No one has ever started a business and it all went perfect. I can tell you.
I haven't seen any yet.
I have never started running a business. And even the ones that I've done after the first one, they were never perfect. And I learned as I went along, and this is what you gain. You gain memory muscle. You learn how to recover. You learn how to quickly pivot when you see something that okay, I've seen this before. So what we need to do now is we need to pivot and shift. You learn not to stay in that state of let me see what's going to happen. No, I already know what this looks like. And so this is telling me I'm getting my indicators, my instinct. That's what God gives us. He gives us spiritual gifts and insights and discernment. And my instinct tell me this, we need to shift. We need to shift quickly or we need to move quickly. And as you go along, you'll find that works faster and you respond faster. You can evaluate faster. You can see things because of history and because of experience. And then you can make better decisions as you go along. So just want to do a recap very quickly about that as we move into talking about creating your website. All right, so we already talked about it.
That's right.
So
well, hello.
Hey,
let's say hello to Julius. Hey, Julius, thank you for being here.
Julius,
he said, "Preach, come on, come on now." Let me tell you, she'll preach to your soul and help your wallets at the same time. You better come on.
We want to have those increase in every area of our lives. We want to be blessed, right?
Yes.
And so we are just enabling this space. If you're starting your own business, we want to encourage you that there is help available. We've talked about other resources, not just the Juice Radio and Talk Show. We want you to come on Mondays and just get this infilling, get this knowledge, ask your questions, collaborate. I love what Regina said. You are our co-host. And so we feed the fuel from what you're asking as well to try and supply you information. But again, you can also go to SCORE and you go to Small Business Association. There are a lot of groups, some of these small investment groups that have diversified areas that they support. Women in business, minority in business, small business getting started, men in business. There are places where you can get support. So don't ever feel as if you're alone, but you have to be responsible for reaching out. You have to be responsible for connecting. You have to be responsible for saying, hey, I need help, because help is available to you. Help is available.
Right. That's right. I said all that also on my motivational video I did this morning. Y'all go back and check that out on our Facebook page. And thank you. Facebook is now back up. Facebook is up and running. So welcome all you Facebook people. For those of you who missed out on the first few minutes of this, go over to our YouTube page. Our StreamYard was not working properly, but I see it's up and running now. But if you missed the beginning of this, go over to our YouTube page and check that out. And I said that this morning, Pastor Grant. Fear. It's okay to be fearful, but we just can't let fear stop us. We got to be able to call out and cry out to one another and those resources and look for those resources and things that can help us. The same thing in business. You can't just sit there and expect someone to call you. You have to be the one to reach out, you know, and look for those resources and things. And that's what we are here for. We are actually reaching out to you. Doing the opposite. We're reaching out to you. But in us reaching out to you, we want you to also let us know what it is that you have interest in as well as we go on this journey. So I appreciate this so much. Let's go ahead and continue on with tips on creating this business website, because it's very important, because in getting your information out, you can't knock on every door. You can't.
Right. And we're in such a virtual world now, right? We're in such a virtual world. People are online. They're looking for content. They're doing searches. So we talked about that before, having a very creative or unique naming convention so that sets you apart from others. So when they do a search, they can easily find you. We're talking about having a nomenclature that is easily identifiable. So sometimes even when they read your name of your business, they know what you're doing. You don't make it difficult for them to figure out how to do business with you. And so that's one of the things of having the website, is to make it ease of use, to get service from your organization, and they can easily find you online. So this is another way of capturing more of a client base, capturing more awareness, so that you extend past the people that you personally can meet. You can meet more people online in an hour than you can personally meet one-on-one. And so this is another extension of marketing, another extension of giving viability and visibility to your organization and to your service or product. And so it's necessary today. I know a lot of people still do things in different lanes, because you have to think about it. You want to have marketing in a variety and diversified ways. So some people, still take a card. Just like years ago, they said, we're going to get rid of checks. Checks are still here to stay. They're not going nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere.
Always want to write a check. However, the masses have moved to more electronic mechanisms of transaction, right?
Yes.
So here's what you're trying to do by creating a web, is not to eliminate your card, is not to eliminate the personality or the personal touch, is not to eliminate that, but it's to reach the additional masses who are online. And so that's what we as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we're always trying to think forward thinking, not going back, not leaving people out. But how do I get these new generation? How do I get these new people that don't know about me? right? And so this is what the website does. And so there are a lot of different websites. We want to encourage you. Again, there's resources, there's help. You don't even have to create them yourself anymore. There are so many who are online, so you can just key in context, and it's almost like a plug and play. You work
so nice.
And so when you need more detail or more specificity, then you can perhaps look to get you a website designer. But in many aspects, if you want to get up your first iteration, again, your business is alive, it's growing, it's thriving. So when you start off with today, you should always in your mind say, okay, where am I next year? Well, how are we going to be looking in 6 months? So you should always, even with the website, thinking about, okay, this is good. Let's do these placements, because I believe next year we'll be able to add this service. And I want to make sure that we can evolve, that it is the next evolution of my business. So perhaps just starting out, you may want to leverage one of these resources that are free and gives a good presentation, right? It may not be excellent. You may not be at top of the house by paying thousands of dollars for a designer. Maybe it's not necessary for what you're doing to get started. Again, don't despise small beginnings, but you need to get started. And so there are a few of them, again, that are helpful with creating a website. I leverage, personally, I use GoDaddy. I do.
Yeah. Oh, I love GoDaddy.
Yes. And Regina, you can pull that up. It's very amenable. It's easy to use. And with the GoDaddy, I'll say this, there have been times when we actually use a website, a designer. So we started it up and we said, listen, I want some specificity. I want to create something different than I could do within my own expertise. I want to go to the next level. And so then you can give that web designer, in most of these apps that I'm going to talk about as well, you can give them authorization. You can give them access. They'll go into your website. They'll help modify it. They'll add in all the content and all the additional information that you need someone with that skill level to do. So again, we're talking about something that's relatively inexpensive so you can get started. Relatively inexpensive so that you can get your name out, because a lot of people want to know, are you viable? Are you a real business? You don't have nothing but a name and a number.
And let me tell you, Pastor Grant, I have dealt with some corporations as far as business expansions, and they have asked, I need your website. I need to view your company website. And they look for it. They do not say, well, you got a little website or a big website. They want to see your product on display or whatever services you're offering on there. And I'm so glad you mentioned GoDaddy. GoDaddy is a great site. Now, y'all see all the word free on the page. You see the page, the words free, they will help you. They will help you. And let me tell you, they have beautiful templates. You'll probably think that your template is going to look, when we say template, that means the way your website looks as far as page or design and all that. You'll think, oh, I was thinking it was going to look cheap. But let me tell you, some of these free websites are amazing. Amazing and beautiful. And GoDaddy is always my go-to. They're always my number one. I go to them first. However, you may find some other sites out there. You just make sure they're trustworthy, I'll say. GoDaddy is very trustworthy. But if you feel comfortable with another site or they have templates that you like better, we're not knocking you. Just go ahead and do what you're going to do. And we're going to name some more. But this is GoDaddy.
And again, this is your start. You're just getting started. So if you find that you want to leverage something differently, you can. The reason why I appreciate GoDaddy is because I've had experience for years with them and they've done well, just like you, Regina. You can do a lot of things through them. You can get your name of your website locked down. And you can get the email extensions, but has your organization on it, which a lot of lenders and other people of organizations want to see. They don't want to see your Gmail. They don't want to see your AOL. They want to see your organization extension on your name. Because again, that gives you viability, that gives you visibility, and they can affirm that you exist as an organization and not as an individual. Okay. So again,
and GoDaddy has great tools where they will get you into the Google search sites.
Yes, they help you. They help you with all those connections so that when others are looking for you, they can easily find you. And so this is what we're saying for some of you entrepreneurs who are just getting started: work smarter, not harder. Work smarter. And because a lot of times we're doing other things in addition to that, we have to find ways of efficiency. How do we efficiently do this effectively so that it is in excellence? efficiency, effectively, excellence. Those are some of the 3 words that we should be considering as we do anything. How do I do it efficiently? How do I do it effectively? Meaning I want the results that I need to get. And then how do I do it in excellence? Because when I do it in excellence, it sets me apart from everybody else. We don't want to be in the medium. What is being in the middle? Middle is top of the bottom. We want to be the top, right? What is the middle? That's top of the bottom. We want to be in the middle. At the top. Yeah, we want to be at the top of excellence. And it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you energy. Like we're saying, these things are free, but you got to do something. And then they had a minimal amount. I think it said $3.99 a year. That's minimal. You guys know we spend that on a Coca-Cola. We spend that on a bottle of water. Right?
Don't try to go to Starbucks with that $3.99. I'm trying to go to Starbucks, y'all. I'm telling you, don't try
it's way past that. Right? And so you are gaining when you leverage these, but it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you energy. It's going to cost you, creativity, so that you can put it together in a way that it functions well for you, right? Efficiency, effectiveness, and excellence, right? So write that down. Efficiency, effectiveness, and excellence. We want to make sure that it comes across in a good presentation so that we continue to build our network, build our platform, build our exposure, and therefore we build our client base, right?
Yes.
So another one that is out there along with GoDaddy, there's also Wix, W-I-X.
Yes.
They are also quoted as excellent. So they have an exceptional rating. And so again, we ask that you evaluate reviews, evaluate them for yourselves, what works best for you and your organization. But these are some that have had a large number of clientele who have given reviews, and they are being rated as excellent. And that is Wix and GoDaddy. They have a very excellent rating from the client bases of their use. Web.com also has a very good. Network Solutions has a very good. And Squarespace has a very good. Okay, these are just a few. But I recommend that you go out there and pursue and evaluate, look at how easy it is for you to operate or to leverage it. How easy it's for me to get connected. How easy for me to stand it up. And most of them will have a tutorial. Most of them have give you all the information. They take you step by step, precept by precept, in creating your view. And so you're not doing it alone. They're walking with you, although electronically. And then they also have support staff. So if you need support and you need to actually reach a human being, I can honestly say that you can reach somebody with GoDaddy. If you need support, if you need additional understanding or clarity, do that. Never sit back with a question or inquiry. Ask. There's nothing wrong with asking. That is a capability I believe that a lot of entrepreneurs need to ensure that they don't lose. Just because you're starting your business doesn't mean you know everything. I can tell you, I've been running a business for years, and I still ask for information. I still have people that mentor me. I still try and operate in other lanes to get more insight and to get more awareness, because it's so important. If you're going to grow, you need to do 3 things. Dr. Rogers would tell us 3 things: meet new people, go new places, or read new books. You've got to expand if you're going to grow. You've got to meet new people, go new places, or read new books. So that tells me you need information. You need to hear some new things. You need to read some new things so that you gain insight if you're going to grow and develop. So never be afraid to ask for help. They also say you only grow as close as your 4-people network. So expand your network. Sometimes we're operating with people and they can't give you context or they can't give you information because they're limited. They don't know. Expand your network. Be okay to say, listen, I'm launching out. I'm starting something new, right?
I love that.
Remember this, starting something new doesn't mean you're starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You know something, right? You have the vision. God is giving you the vision. You have the awareness. You have the clarity. And now all these other hands that are going to come in to partner with you, help strengthen you, help build you up, help carry it forward. And so you can't do it on your own. Collaboration is the biggest multiplier. Collaboration is the biggest multiplier. It will get you to places faster. I'm here to tell you, the Lord will allow people to come across your path. I don't care how hard you how hard you work. Hustling won't get you there.
Ooh.
God will allow divine connections that will get you places and get you there faster than you ever imagined. And so
Ain't nothing I'm telling you. Come on, man.
yes.
I love a hustle will get you so far, but a hookup will get you hooked up for life. Now, come on now. A good hookup. A good hookup out trumps a hustle anytime. Hey, Nadia, love, thank you for being here. Listen, we got a really great comment here. Karen, hey, Karen. Thank you for being here. Karen Frazier is here. She says, thanks, ladies. I started a business. No, I need a website. Yes, I guess she's saying she knows she need a website, but am scared to do it. Let me tell you, I'm going to have Pastor Grant answer this, but let me tell you, when I started out on a few of my businesses, I started right here with Wix. I started with Wix, and I did not know what I was doing, but Wix, and that was years ago. Wix has been around for a while. I started when I think they first came on the ground. And they helped me so much there. The templates, when I tell you, was so easy. I felt like a pro when I finished my site myself. And you can also reach out to them. But also when I finished, I said, well, let me go on over. And then I heard about GoDaddy, because that's when I got the domain name, and did a GoDaddy site. And now I have a professional company that handles my site now. But you grow. It's like, you go through the process. Pastor Grant, what would be your comment to Karen as she says she need a website, but she's scared to do it?
I would say exactly what you said. I would ditto it and concur. There are other websites out here like Wix and GoDaddy who can help you walk through the entire process. You will be so surprised what you can create based on their templates. They make it so easy, so efficient, so effective for you, so that when you get to your end of it, you would be surprised by what you can create. And again, this will be your first iteration. Don't feel like what you're creating is it forever. No, we go in consistently and modify our website, or have our designer go in and fix different things and tweak different things as we modify our product and service, as we update, as we grow. Because the expectation is that your business is going to grow. We just planted seeds right now. We're just watering right now. We're waiting on God to get the increase. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be more expanded than you can ever conceive even right now. But you got to get started. So we want to encourage you, get started today. Start on it now. And then as you operate, we talked about before, leveraging others as a focus group, family, friends. Just say, look at this. What do you think? What else could I enhance it by? But you would be so surprised by what you can create, even in your first iteration. But get started. You can win, but you can only win if you get in the game. And so you got to get in. You got to get in, and you've got to participate in this process. And I can't even tell you how many times I've done things where I said, oh, Lord, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I trust you. I don't know. I can't see the end of it. I just know you said it's going to work out. And you may not know every step of the way, but he didn't ask us to. He didn't say we had to know how to figure everything out. He just told us to have faith, to trust him, to operate, to move forward. And then just like we said, these are some of the mechanisms who are here that can help you craft a great presentation for your first iteration. Tell yourself, and I think that's why we get afraid, right? Because we feel like this is it. If I don't hit it out the park this first time, I'm done. No. You're going to iterate. You're going to start the first iteration of your website. You're going to work on it. You're going to modify it. And then you're going to continue to evaluate and continue to evolve, just like your business plan. Just like as you start a business and you start to go out and get funding. All of those things are the process. And so, but you got to get started for the process to reap the benefits. So we encourage you, Karen, on the day. You can do this.
Come on, Karen.
Welcome. Anyone else who's watching, you can do this. Because it has been made available to you. The resources are available.
That's right. And this is the other site that Pastor Grant was telling us about, web.com. And I want to say this to a lot of you out here when you look at these sites. Now you see that price on the screen, that $149, that will usually scare people away.
Yes.
But for other people, they'll look and they'll say, listen, that's a real good investment.
Yes. In your business, in your business. Because you have to think about it. Where else have you put $149 and get a payback of a business?
Now, let me tell you, there's some of them out there that, are more than that. And there's, of course, like we showed you, the free ones. So don't let prices scare you. If the price doesn't fit your budget right now, then find the company where the price does fit your budget. And free fits in everywhere. Free. Everywhere.
That's right. Free fits.
Free fits.
And especially when that is free of quality. And I understand that.
Yes.
I know some people say, oh, sometimes free isn't free. It comes with something. But when you know it is of quality, when you know it is giving excellence, it is a blessing to you to leverage it.
Yes. And you can do it as well as other. Listen, if I could do it, I know, Karen, you could do it. Now, come on now. You could do it. Karen, you know what, Karen? I'm looking forward to see Karen's website. I would love to see Karen's website.
Please make sure. Yes, send it back to us. Yes.
Send it to us. I would love for come next Monday, Karen comes in and says, look at my website. Put the domain name in the chat and we're going to check out that website. And I love it. We're rooting for you, Karen. You could do this. I love this, Pastor Grant. So there are several ways that you can get your websites up and running. There are several different places that you can find great website tools and stuff. So check those out. All right. And Pastor Grant, I thank you so much for being here. Now, you guys, again, for those of you who are on our Facebook page, and at the beginning of it, it cut off because the StreamYard wasn't working. That's okay. Go over to our YouTube page or our official website, thejuiceradio.net. And check out the full video there as well. All right. I love it. Pastor Grant, thank you so very much. I appreciate you for being here. I love this. Let's get Karen's comments and then we're going to be out of here. She says, yes, that's what scares me, to fail. Thanks for the encouragement. Don't let fear stop you.
Fail forward. That's why I always tell my team, fail forward. You got to try. If you do fail, that's natural. That's part of the process. Fail forward. Okay, I learned from this. Here's what I'm going to do the next time. Here's where I'm going to make a pivot. Here's where I'm going to make a decision based on my experience so that I go forward.
Yes. And fear comes at a cost.
Yes.
Because when you're fearful, it will cost you every dream that you have.
Yes. It holds you hostage.
It holds.
Yeah. You got to do it afraid. You got to do it afraid.
It's okay if you do fail at something, you get back up. It's not a failure. It's a lesson.
Yes, that's right.
It's not a failure. Don't look at. I think a lot of people focus on that word failure too much. It's not a failure. It's a lesson. I have had plenty of lessons, Pastor Grant, myself.
I've had a lot of lessons.
Ooh, a lot of lessons. Yes. Well, you guys, thank you for being here again. Listen, she says, Karen says, already have the name and we'll keep you updated. You gotta come on. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward. Well, this has been our Money Monday series. Most of you are coming in, you say, well, it's only a half an hour. What happened? Listen, we're breaking it down to half an hour segments because we want you to also be able to enjoy your lunches too, okay? To get something in your system. But we're going to be doing this because we're going to have a lot more episodes and stuff coming up, and we don't want them to be too long out, so we want them to be smaller segments so that we can get more information out there to you. Listen, we're going to be doing this a lot more often. I appreciate you, Pastor Grant, for all of this. Y'all look forward to all the things that Pastor Grant is doing over there, her beautiful ministry, my father's house, Pentecostal church in Riverdale, Georgia. Check her out. Information is in the bio section or the description of these videos. Y'all support her today. And thank you so much for being here on our Money Monday series. Will you just grab your lunch and come on over here and learn? Pastor Grant, go ahead and give us some closing words before we close out of here.
All right. Well, I want you to know that every day is a new day of opportunity. Think that way. It is a new day for you to advance, a new day for you to prosper, a new day of innovation and creativity, and another day for evolution. This is a day that everything can change. Listen, don't feel like what happened yesterday. You were stuck in yesterday. Leave that behind you. Think forward. This is a new day of blessings, grace, and mercy. So enjoy the day. And I encourage you, enjoy the journey. It's well spent.
It is. Thank you so much. And Karen, we're going to close out with this comment. She says, stay blessed and favored, ladies. Ooh,
thank you.
Come on. You received that. Thank you so much. All right, y'all have a blessed day. On the count of three, Pastor Grant, we're out of here. 1, 2, 3. Bye, y'all.
Bye now.
A heartfelt thank you to all of our subscribers who joined us for this video. If you have not already subscribed, go to our YouTube channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to be alerted whenever we go live. Join our private Juice community. Go to www.thejuicecommunity.com and sign up for free. Join us, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. We have our Money Monday financial series. It is a lunch and learn program at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. Also on Mondays, Thursday, we have our reality series and hot topics at 7 p.m. Wednesdays, we have Bible study at 7:30 p.m. Thursdays, we have church news at 7:30 p.m. We also offer motivational moments, happy marriage lifestyle, news from a godly perspective, movie reviews, as well as our Single Moms Club, Let's Talk Ex-Millennials, and of course, our Cooking with Clovis. Follow us on our podcast channel, the Juice Radio and Talk Show Podcast, streaming on all podcast platforms. A great big thank you to our podcast production company, Noye Podcast Productions. They can help you create your own podcast also. Contact them today at houseofnoye.com. Thank you to our sponsor, Custom Apparel Shop. Have them complete your embroidery work and silk screening needs. Do you need a logo created for your fashion apparel or company? Contact Israel Mason today. That is 786-657-7501. Thank you to our main sponsor, Truth and Triumph Ministries. Truth and Triumph Ministries, a ministry that cares about telling people the truth so they can triumph in life. Thank you, Truth and Triumph Ministries, for all you do.